Hi guys, welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robin French Smith. You are here at the Bath Fizz and Foam Facebook group, unless you're watching the replay on YouTube, in which case you should be in the Bath Fizz and Foam Facebook group, girl. Anyway, today we are continuing our Bath Fizz and Foam challenge, which this 2-month cycle has been junk food, and today I'm going to be making some hamburgers, and I haven't tried it yet, but I think it'll work and I'm very excited about it. This entire project is going to be made out of Wonder Bar, with the exception of like one tiny little thing which is going to be made out of our sprinkles recipe, but everything else for this project is going to be made out of Wonder Bar. And because I had a bunch of colors, I went ahead and mixed a bunch of my colors ahead of time, but I'm going to mix this color with you guys so that we can see how I'm mixing this one color. And the color that I'm choosing to mix with you is the color of the meat patty. So when I did the tacos, when I did the taco bath bombs, let me see, I'll pull one over here so you can see it really quick. I got a lot of questions about the meat. How did I get the meat that color? So I figured of all the colors to do, we'll do the meaty meat color, and then you guys can see how I did that color, and then hopefully that will help you. And I will also talk to you as I get to the different other colors that I did, like how I blended those colors up. But so to do the meat, so this is Wonder Bar mix. I made just like a huge batch and pulled aside like different portions of it. Basically I master batched it. So I made like a triple batch, and then I pulled like some portions out of it. And so this is that's what this is. Just so you know. So this is basically a quarter size of a full batch. Like if you made a full batch, this would be a quarter size of that. And to color the meat, to get the meat like a meaty brown color. Okay, I don't want to use, there's a brown color study for bath bombs. So I could use a blend of colors to get that brown color. I could use cocoa powder to get that brown color. But I'm actually going to use just a little bit of mica and some yellow 5 Lake. No, that's not correct. Red 40. Like, I have yellow 5 in my hand, but that's not actually what I need. Red 40. So we'll start off with red 40, and then we'll add a little bit of brown mica as we go to get the color right. So I'm going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon just to start off with. And I will pull my mixer over so you can see the color a little bit better as I'm blending it. Hopefully you can see it as I'm blending it. I think that these are going to be super cute. I have also like, I think I might make French fries. I think I might make some French fries with it too. I wasn't like planning on that originally, and then at the last minute I kind of like decided I might do that because I made a bunch of yellow. Probably more yellow than needs. So this is Wonder Bar, just the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients, none of the rubbing alcohol. So rubbing alcohol is the processing agent that we use, and you basically add rubbing alcohol until it's the right consistency, and we want this to be pressing consistency. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it as I add my colors to it and blend it up. So I have that red going, and then I'm just going to start to sprinkle in a little bit of this mocha brown from Nurture Soap and see if I can get that good meat color. I mean, you could leave it pink, I guess, if you wanted to, like if you liked your burgers rarer. I like my steak pretty rare, but not my hamburgers. No, thank you. So you can see that the mix is still pretty crumbly. it's definitely not holding together or anything like that, but I'm just kind of, since this is such a small amount, I'm just going to kind of go in there and make sure that everybody's getting their equal shot at the mixer. So after this week, I believe we only have 2 more weeks left of the junk food challenge, and then we'll take a week off, and then we have another challenge planned. So you have till the end of May to add to the 2 feeds that we have going. We have a sweet feed and we have a salty feed. So you have a couple more weeks to just add to that. Okay, that's still too red to me, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more of this mocha brown and keep an eye on it. Could I have just started off with brown? Yes, but I like there to be like that slightly red undertone. Like I feel like that gives it more of like an authentic neat look to it. It's honestly kind of gross if you think about it, but it's fine. But anyway, so yeah, you have a couple weeks left still where you can add things to those 2 feeds. Just saying is all. Okay. I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit more. I feel like it's still just a little bit too reddish for my preference. And I think that that will be good. So the molds I'm gonna be using are, I have a variety of macaroon molds that we're going to be utilizing for this. So I have this kind of larger macaroon. I don't know the sizes of them. I'll have to double check the size of them. That's a larger one. That's from Chunk of Dust. This is a teeny tiny one, also from Chunk of Dust. This is, I think, a standard size, or maybe slightly bigger than a standard size. This one is a Kata. So I have several macaroon molds. Don't ask me why I have, don't ask why I have so many like repeat molds. I just do. Okay, so that is ready, and I don't know if you guys can see how it's slightly sticking to the side of the bowl. It's not super sticky to the side of the bowl. My gloves are clean when I pick it up and play with it. So that is prime pressing texture, and I did that just by watching it, and then I also gave it plenty of time to mix. Okay, you don't want to just like kind of jump off the gun, and this actually kind of looks like a bean patty. It's gonna work though. All right, so I'm gonna put that in that that y'all Friday. I could not think of what these are. Pitcher, measuring cup. Yeah, there you go. Since I'm not going to use it actually right away, this is not the first thing we're going to use. I'm going to cover it with some cling wrap. Like these are covered with cling wrap, and then I just have like a rubber band around them to kind of keep it in place. If you're going to be working quickly, you don't really need to do that, but because I have a tendency to talk on these, I might talk a lot, and I don't want to like, you know, lose that perfect texture that I've got. Okay, the first thing that I actually want to do, since I thought about it and decided let's do it, let's do the French fries first. So here's my plan, here's my idea for the French fries. I have a bunch of yellow, and I don't know why I set all this up here nicely, and then, okay, so I have the Kata rectangle mold. What I'm thinking is that I'll make a mini loaf of yellow and then use my crinkle cutter to cut it into crinkle fries. I feel like that's a good move. So my yellow is also at pressing texture. It's probably a little bit dry because I made it a while ago, but I like it. We're gonna stick with it. Go with what you know. So whenever I'm putting things into a 3D printed mold, I like to kind of form it to the general shape of the item that I'm gonna be packing it into. I'm out of freezer paper, so I'm using parchment paper, and it's not quite as like nice. I could use my table if I wanted to. Anyway, so then I rub the mix onto the table or on a smooth surface a little bit to kind of get, to kind of smooth those edges up a little bit. Like so. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just kind of helps with the whole thing. Okay, so then I have my, it does look like a legitimate block of cheese right now, actually. I don't have any cheese planned for this hamburger. So maybe when I unmold my loaf, I'll slice off a cheese of, slice off a slice of cheese. So I just dropped it in there. It's not perfectly fit, but it'll be okay. If it sticks, I'll pull it out and I'll add some cornstarch. And I believe my red will stick, so we'll be able to see that. So I'm just pulling it out and pressing it over and over just to see if I got it good. Okay, cool. Pull that out. Come out. Oh no, my big whacking knife is not around here. Okay, so that just kind of slid out. I damaged it a little bit. It's okay. Actually, I do kind of need a knife. Hold on, let me see. I should have a knife somewhere. I'm looking. I just did dishes, so I have like dishes everywhere. Actually, I have a dirty knife. I'll just wipe it off. Okay. I mean, I say dirty. It's like dirty with bath bomb stuff. So, okay. So I'm just gonna slice. Let me get a couple slices for my cheese. I'm gonna set them here and let them dry before I try to like move them around. So we'll use those later. So I'll get like 2 slices just because I feel like, are you even eating a hamburger if you only have 1 slice of cheese on it? Okay. Now I'm gonna use my crinkle cutter. I think this is gonna work, but I honestly don't know that it's gonna work. So bear with me. Oh, that worked. Okay, that's cute. Okay. I might die from how cute this is. Okay. What I really should have done is brought in like a paper plate in here, and then I could like set it up like have it ready to go. Like that would have been really cute. I'm just gonna chop off the edge right there because it's not crinkled, which is fine. I can still use it later if I want to. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you wouldn't want to pick it up like I'm doing right now. That's a bad idea. You would want to just leave it and let it dry. I'm going to be picking up everything though. So if you were doing this yourself, you would want to leave it and let it dry before you start picking things up and moving them around. I don't have that same luxury because I'm doing, I'm trying to put this together today. But how cute are these French fries going to be when this fully dries up? Really freaking cute. That's so simple. It's a crinkle cutter. I think pretty much everybody's gonna, if you don't have a crinkle cutter like on hand, you can probably get one. I mean, it's like, I think Walmart has them in the baking aisle. It's a pretty easy to get kitchen tool, but I'm assuming like a lot of people have them because it's usually like when you make soap, usually your first style of soap is that you use a crinkle cutter. That's like the intro. It's like the intro drug to making soap. Okay. I am loving this. Oops, I broke one. That's okay. That's okay. Not all French fries are the same length. I actually prefer the ones that are like really tiny and like super crunchy. Those are my favorite. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside right there, and then I'm gonna move on to the next step, which is gonna be to make the bun. Put that in there, and that over there, and let me wipe my hands off. Okay, so for the bun, I used the same color ratio that Amanda used last week to make her ice cream cones, only I used more of the color, and I added some cocoa powder. Remember, I just talked about cocoa powder? Added some cocoa powder to it to give it kind of that darker color. So this is the bun. Now this, I really feel like this is too crumbly. We're gonna try it, but it might be too crumbly and I might need to throw it into the mixer for just a second, but let's try it. So let's use the big macaroon mold. So I'm gonna take a ball of this stuff. I'm gonna just have to use my table because that is not as good as freezer paper. Freezer paper is like, this is parchment paper. Freezer paper is like covered, I believe, with like a really thin layer of plastic, so don't come at me about that. I'm sorry. It's really useful for soap making though. Whereas, I don't know what parchment paper is, but wax paper is another option you could do, but I just don't have any wax paper, so. Okay, so I'm just rubbing it on here to smooth it out. Now the thing is, you can come back later when it's done and you can smooth it out and it'll be fine. But I like to try to have it as smooth as possible the first time around. And even though I don't need any cornstarch, I'm gonna grab some just so I can show you guys how you would do it. I'm looking for like a little scoop. Here we go. Even though I show this in the video, I just want to show you guys again. So I would take my cornstarch and instead of sprinkling it into the mold, I would pat it onto the item that I need to mold. That way it helps control like how much cornstarch is going in there and where the cornstarch is going, so it doesn't kind of like all build up in one area. All right, so I'm gonna put that in there, squish it in. Now I'm gonna use the same macaroon top for the top and the bottom. There is, I believe, Inedible Soaps came out with a hamburger bun mold. So there are, like, you could do that. I'm just going to use the same, like, top and bottom, though. Y'all. So cute. Okay, so the color for this is equal parts of yellow 5 and yellow 6 Lake with some cocoa powder just kind of added until I get the right color visually. The bun is a quarter size, no, it's a half size of the regular Wonder Bar batch. So for that amount of mix, I used a quarter teaspoon of yellow 5 and a quarter teaspoon of yellow 6. I'm sorry if that's like a lot of information, but like people are going to ask me. So like that would be the proportion. So if you wanted the entire mix to be this color, you would just multiply that by 4. Right? We're there? Okay, so this should be my bottom bun. So the top bun is rounded. The bottom bun doesn't have to be like as rounded. I think it'll be fine though, like once it's like molded and stuff. I don't think that you'll be able to tell. So this one, let's not add the cornstarch and see how it does. I think it'll actually be fine, honestly. But I did want to show you guys like how I would actually apply the cornstarch if I was doing it. That way, you know, you just have that. Even though it's in the video where I talk about Wonder Bar, it never hurts to see the same, to see it repeated, right? Okay. It did stick a little bit. Look at that. It'll be okay because it's the bottom bun, but that's just a good like note to self. It did stick just a little bit. So I'm turning over the like rounded part to the bottom so that the bun like kind of gets a more bunny, like, you know how the bottom bun is like not, like the top bun's like nice and rounded. Anyway, y'all know what I'm doing. Y'all know what I'm doing. I feel like I've been trying to like work out in my head how I would do this if I was going to do it, but I was like thinking how cute it would be to like sell this with all the pieces like separate, and people could build their own hamburger. I have no clue how I would do that if I were to do that though. If you brainstorm out how to do that, let me know, okay? Because I think that that would be really cute. So I'm just guesstimating on the size of what's going to go in there. I don't know specifically the size. I'm not weighing anything, as you can see. This is just kind of a, whew, just living crazy and free today. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Now, this guy looks good. I'm going to go ahead and pat the baby. Pat the baby. Dust that bottom a little bit. And let's go. So usually when I use macaroon molds, I don't even use this top piece. I just like squash it in there. And, oh, I could have dusted the other side apparently. Like, I have major Hamburger vibes from this. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, but it is sticking to this bottom part. So I could have dusted actually the other side as well. Note to self. Okay, so then let's do this last. I might actually be able to get, we'll see how many we can get out of here, but I might get 3. Maybe one of them is going to be a triple. Like a Big Mac. Hashtag not sponsored. Just saying. Okay. So yeah, I was thinking like it would be really cute if you sold like all the components like by themselves, and then people could build their own hamburger. Like, how cute would that be? Logistically, I don't know if it would work because I haven't tried it, but it's like, it's just, that's, I have lots of ideas. That was one of them. Okay, I'll pass it on to you so you can get that bee in your bonnet, and it's out of mine. Okay. Oh my gosh. I really thought, like when I first did these, I thought that the brown, this color was like not right. But as I'm looking at it, it feels right. So I'm happy with it right now. Okay, that fell out and he dented himself. So I'm just going to put him back in there. Do a little damage control. He's fine. He's fine. So the really good thing about Wonder Bar is that you have all this time to play with it. Like, there's no need to feel rushed or feel like, you know, panicked about it. I know that that's one thing, like people are used to bubble bars and like other, like, actually I'm just gonna add this to this. I know people are used to bubble bars and bubble frosting and stuff like that working really fast, and then like you don't have a lot of time and you're like rushing and there's like this panic feeling because it's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna go wrong. And like the really great thing about Wonder Bar is you have so much working time. You can sit there and be, you know, you can take your time and you can experiment with it. You can say, I don't like that, put it back in. Like, the worst that's gonna happen is you might add too much rubbing alcohol right off the bat, and then you might have to wait for it to dry out. If you don't have time for it to dry out, then you can always just set it aside and use it later. I have had Wonder Bar that I kept wrapped in like cellophane because I added too much rubbing alcohol to it, and then like 3 weeks later I was able to use it. So it's not going anywhere on you. It's not running away from you. There's no wild horses with this one. We're here to help you recover from your handmade cosmetic induced PTSD, okay? So if you've had bad experiences, I'm sorry. We're here for you. It's gonna be okay. Things get better. Don't worry. Sorry, I just didn't want to waste that, so I just went ahead and added that to it. Because it's like not enough for another bun. So, okay. Put this one out. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my top buns on this side so I can kind of know that they're the top buns. And then my bottom buns over here. Okay, next let's do the meat. It does have a little bit of bean patty. It's okay. That's all right. It's okay. Okay, so for the meat, I actually don't really care if it's like perfectly, like we might try a couple things. So like, I don't care if it's perfectly smooth for starters, because I feel like it should kind of be mush. Like I might not even use the macaroon mold for it. I might just, let's see if I just hand form it. Yeah? Should I just like keep it hand formed like that? And then you know what we can do? We could add like grill marks to it. Hold on. We can add grill marks to it. I feel like that's a good move. I have some black mica here. Just like a tiny, tiny bit of black mica. And just do like a squirt of rubbing alcohol in there. Just do like, yes! Oh my gosh. Is that right? Is that what it looks like? I think that's what they look like. Honestly, the color of this reminds me of like those soy patties from like school lunches. That's really what it reminds me of. So I'm gonna put that straight onto my bottom bun, and then the other one I'll keep on the side. So I have like that option. If you put them together, then like as it dries, they're gonna dry together. You won't be able to take them apart. So I am gonna do that for that one, in case I want one burger that's like all the way together, and then the other one I just want to be like, that is a thick hamburger too. I can't lift it up to show you, but it is like really thick. And like what's really cool is like the cracks on the side, that looks like meat. That was the thing with the taco. So the taco, that crumbly texture, I got that by just coloring this texture, not adding any rubbing alcohol and just adding like to this texture. So that's a whole nother aspect of Wonder Bar we haven't even really explored, to be honest. Okay, what did I do with my black mica? Okay, so let's do some more grill marks, because I just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because these are not Wendy's patties that are like, how does it get that shape? These are from home. Dad made them, or mom made them, so they're like handmade, and they have like that kind of handmade quality to them. Okay, so those are done. I might have to switch my gloves for the next step, because the next step should be pickles. Yeah, pickles. Let's do pickles. And like literally I could stop here. I could put the bun on it. We would be fine. Everything would be fine. Y'all would be fine. I would be fine with it, right? We could stop right there. It would be cute. That's it. We could be done. But can I stop there? Will I stop there? Nay, I shall not. We have miles to go before we sleep. Okay. Cleanliness is next to something. Okay. Pickles. So for the pickles, I'm thinking I'm just going to do, so Pickles is also at pressing texture. It's a little bit crumbly though, and so I feel like I should probably add some rubbing alcohol to it. So I'm just going to take this, wipe it down really quick. I should definitely, if I was not doing this live, oh, you know what? I have another blade that's clean. Hello. Yeah, I was going to say I should definitely use a clean blade, but I was like, I'm doing it live. I don't have, oh, I do have one. It's right there. So I'm just going to wipe this out so I don't get color transfer all over everything. And it needs just a little bit more because we're going to make like a roll. I feel like we could make a roll and do, actually, look, why am I making this harder than it needs to be? Just take a little ball, roll it, squish it. There's my pickle. Why was I making it harder than it needed to be? So I will actually use like this. Yeah, that totally works. If you wanted to, you could go like in on the sides, and which is what I'm doing with this, and I'm like kind of making it scalloped, the way dill pickles are scalloped. Yeah, I was about to make that so much more complicated than it needed to be. And you could also go in on the side and like kind of paint the side a little bit darker, so you get that like real pickly, like it's got two colors on it kind of thing going on. All right, so let's do 2 pickles for each burger. And then what I'm gonna do is actually pipe some lettuce. Oh my gosh, I'm just going crazy, right? Press a fork on it. Ooh, that's a good idea. I don't have any forks in here, sadly. I don't have a lot of spoons. I have like, tell me if this is you, I have like every spoon in my house that's like not a cereal or soup spoon. Like I have all the like serving spoons. I have all of them. We have one that's like not, it doesn't match our silverware. I don't know where we got it. And it's like super sturdy. And that one's the ice cream spoon. So that one stays in the house. But all the other ones have become mine. They become mine. I own them. They're mine. Okay. So I'm just gonna scallopy on his edge. And like, if I needed to wait for this to firm up a little bit, I could wait a little bit and wait to do this scallopy part until it firmed up a little bit if I felt that that was necessary. This guy seems to be molding pretty good. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's a pickle, so. So here's a great debate. I lived up north for a while, and I happen to know that y'all do something to your hamburgers that should be illegal. You guys put mayonnaise on your hamburgers, and you also eat your French fries with mayonnaise. I don't understand that. In Texas, the official toppings for a hamburger are mustard, ketchup, and pickles. Maybe tomatoes if you're fancy. Maybe lettuce if you're like, you need to get your salad in for the day. But yeah, don't understand that. Okay, let me grab some green that I already have prepped. So this is a lake blend that I already have prepped. It's hard to see, but it is, maybe it's too dark. There you go. This is a lake blend. It's like lake and mica that I already have prepped. Just makes it easier on me. So actually I'm going to sprinkle some of the dark one into what's going to be lettuce. Whee! Those are my little sprinkles. Okay, well, we'll use them in a second. Sorry. It's possible that I have too much going on with this project. I'm open to that possibility. So I want this to get to piping consistency. So I'm just adding some rubbing alcohol until that gets to piping consistency. In the meantime, I'm going to take a paintbrush and kind of add some of that dark green that I was talking about to the edges of this pickle. Oh yeah, that's like, that needed that. I'm just gonna do it to the ones that I'm gonna put on the burger so that they're like ready to go. Now you can paint Wonder Bar, obviously. I'm painting it right now. It doesn't hold on to color quite as well as, like, for example, painting a bath bomb will. But you can paint it. So just be aware that it's not gonna like quite, it doesn't quite hold on to the color the same way. But as long as you keep that in mind, you know, get your expectations in order, you'll be okay. Okay, these little seeds, I'm gonna go ahead and place them now, even though I wasn't gonna place them yet. I was gonna wait because obviously they're loose. So this is our new sprinkle recipe. And I used it to make some white sprinkles and then some little white teardrop shapes to be the sesame seeds. And I was gonna wait to put them on. Obviously I can't wait because I spilled their container on the floor. So I'm just spraying that with some rubbing alcohol and then gonna set them in place. And this is actually a palm-free version of the sprinkle recipe. Some people asked if there was a palm-free version, and at the time I didn't even think about palm-free, honestly, because I don't worry about it for my cosmetics, but I understand if that's like your thing and you are looking for palm-free. So I haven't tub tested these yet. I've tub tested a couple different versions, and I think that this one is the right one that's going to work. So I'm taking a leap of faith and adding them now, but we'll see in the long run if that was a good choice for me. Fortunately, there's not too many, so if like they don't dissolve very well, it's fine. But and I think somebody asked me if there was a vegan version, and for some reason I was thinking like vegan and palm-free and like got the two like twisted in my head. So the new sprinkle recipe is already vegan. So if you're the person that asked me and I was like, oh yeah, we're coming out with a vegan recipe, no, it's already vegan, so you're fine on that. It was the palm-free that I was working on. So whoever you are, I'm sorry. Oh, Ashley says, well, howdy, if I can see text. Yes, okay, I can see text. Hi. I know I haven't like looked up that much because most of the time when I've looked up, it's just said like so and so is watching. It doesn't like, it wasn't like telling me like words, real words from people, messages across the distance and stuff. Okay, well, if I had not dropped half of my sprinkles onto the floor, I would have had plenty to put onto my bun. But it's fine as it is. Okay, we get the point. There's sesame seeds on there. I'm gonna add just a little bit more rubbing alcohol in there because it's more like mashed potatoes. Which, say it with me, mashed potatoes bad. That's not what you want. You don't want mashed potatoes. You want processed. frosting. You want it to look like frosting. It's a frosting recipe, right? And I have this piping bag, mostly prepped. And I have a tip in it today I'm very excited about. I got this tip, I've only tested it and I haven't even used it that much, but it's a type of Russian piping tip that makes ruffles, basically, and it like gives it like a ruffly texture. And I'm thinking that it would be perfect for lettuce. So I tested it a couple times, but not on this project. But I am very excited about this tip. So let's see. I think, you know, the thing is, like, if when you buy Wonder Bar, you're gonna find like your favorite application for it. And I think it would be safe to say that my favorite application for it is piping, just because I just feel like it looks so pretty, and piping was always something for me with other bubble bar recipes that was like so much anxiety. Like it would like get firm in the bag and you'd be like rushing, and I don't know. I just love that with Wonder Bar, like you can take your time. You don't have to like rush on it or whatever. Okay. So I have this piping bag here. I'm just gonna pull this through. I wish I had some smaller bags. I don't. I'll probably trim this bag down a little bit so it's not like monstrously huge. Okay, so we're just gonna squash all that down. Yeah, I'm gonna trim this. Okay, I'm just gonna go right on to, oh, I'm just so excited. Okay, so the tip, I'm gonna hold it at a angle like this and just squeeze and like go around in a circle. Go around the edge. I'm hyperventilating. It looks so much like lettuce. It's amazing. Okay. I hope that you are like excited about that like I am. So basically it just kind of ruffles on its own without like a lot of effort on your part. Look at that. It totally looks like lettuce. Dang. Okay, well for the lettuce, I'm gonna have to add it to this burger right here. I might as well just build this burger. I know I had like dreams and aspirations and stuff, but I think I just need to build him, because otherwise the lettuce like really won't work. So if it's like too uniform too, you can just kind of like wiggle it around as you're going around. But honestly, all you have to do is squeeze and it just comes out like looking like lettuce. This is pretty cool. I will definitely share the link for where I got this, but it was on Amazon, and it's just a ruffle piping tip. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to stop. I'm just like adding so much lettuce because it's so cool looking, but I need to stop. Nobody wants that much lettuce on their hamburger, right? They're like gross. Okay, last but not least, we have to make a tomato. You can't have a hamburger without a tomato. Now, I prefer for them to be like super firm. I don't like it when they're not firm, but yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little ball. This is a little bit too sticky to me, so I'm gonna dust it like I did before. Dust it, dust it. Dust it. I mean, you could get, this is already extremely extra, so I know that what I'm about to say, you're like, You could get really extra with this though, and like even do, like the tomato seeds, you know, like the way I did the sesame seeds. I think that might be overkill though. I'm gonna die over how cute this is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's add this tomato. We'll add our pickle. And then I think that will be it. Oh my gosh. Oh, and our cheese. We'll have to top with our cheese, obviously. You could go so many directions. This is such, like, think about how simple this actually is. Like, it is not simple. There's a lot of steps involved to this. But, like, mold-wise, these are, like, super simple molds. And I think a lot of people have macaroon molds. You don't need, like, every single, like, you don't need the different sizes and stuff. You know, you could have, like, slider sizes and... I'm gonna lose my mind over how cute this is. Okay, let's add our pickles. 1 pickle, 2 pickle, 1 pickle, 2 pickle, our slice of cheese. Broke my cheese, my bad. Actually, let's do, just gonna tuck it inside then. Nobody's gonna see where it's broken. Okay, 1 pickle, 2 pickle, should I pick it up? No. No, I shouldn't. Y'all, what have we done? What have we created? Oh my gosh. I can barely breathe right now. I'm gonna hyperventilate. I'm so excited over this case. Set it down, Robin, and don't pick it back up. See, you just cracked the bun. Okay. Don't pick it up like that, though, okay? Don't. I was just doing that because I was excited. Don't do that, though. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, let's add our pickles and our bun. Y'all! Oh my God, okay, and these are still, oh, they're a little bit dry. They're not quite all the way dry yet. They're still a little bit soft, but you have... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to breathe. This is so exciting for me, though. Okay, so like you could do your French fries. Now these little French fries, they're like likely to break, you know, and they're not like super sturdy. So, I mean, it's Bubble Bar, you know. Bubble Bar at the end of the day, you want it to be hard enough to package, but not like that hard because people need to use it. So there is like a fine balance between the two, but I know I'm staging this just so I can show you. Oh my gosh, I'm in heaven over these. Okay. I'm gonna let these dry for I don't know, a long amount of time so that I don't mess them up, and then I will take pictures and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I can't believe this actually works because I'd had the idea in my head and I just didn't know if it would work, and it did, and I'm super excited about it. So thank you guys so much for like hanging in there today, because I know it was like a little bit crazy at one point. I will post links in the description that talks about the colors that I use for each of the different, you know, ones that I didn't talk about the color with, because I said I would talk about that and I didn't. But I will leave links and talk about the colors and links to where I got these two molds and all that stuff. But guys, thank you so much for joining today, and don't forget to add your images to the Fizz and Foam, the official threads. If you just put it into the group, I won't see it. So make sure that you add it to the official thread so that we have that, and you have just a couple more weeks for that, and then we're gonna switch themes. But in the meantime, happy making.